In this video, we're going to take another look into the customization. Now, we've done one previous video, customization part 1, and in that video we learned how to insert a new field called t-shirt size and how to actually search off that field. In this video, I want to show you how to insert a new date field, and we'll do that the same way as we did in the previous video by going up to Utilities, and we'll go to Customize Pages. And from here, we're going to insert a new date field. So this time, instead of inserting a new page, we're going to insert into a page that already exists. So I'll click on Dates, and then I'll click on Insert. This opens up a new window for me. And from here, we're going to insert a new date called Started Date. And this will just simply be an example. For instance, like if this is the first time they actually started coming to the service or to the event, and you would like to remember that the next year, or maybe the first time they became a member. So you could even do something as far as member date. But either way, whatever way you decide to name that, this will be a good example to show you how to track that information. So we'll click Next. And this will be the token. Remember from the other video that a token is simply a means that allows us to have something to create a report with this information on it. So wherever I put this token, the information that I have inserted for the individual on this date will be what prints on that report. So we'll click Next again, and in this case I'm still going to just apply it to the Youth Ministry Zone. Now if you have one of our single ministry zone products like Youth Assistant or Children's Assistant, you will not have all these other options. But if you do have something like Inspire the Works or a multiple ministry zone product, you will have multiple options you can choose from on where you would like to apply this new customization. So we'll click Next again. And from here we have a couple different options. We have a none category, so it's just strictly a date, and I want the messenger to ignore this date. Also have an age anniversary category. This option allows the messenger to treat the date like a birth date, so it's something that comes around every year. An actual date is something like a meeting, for example. It's a one-time date that happens on this time at this day, and an overdue date would be something that the messenger would not use until after the date has been selected, and will continue to be used until it's actually cleared. So it's like an overdue library book, for example. In this case, I'm actually going to use an age anniversary date because I want this to calculate every year. I want it to tell me they've been here 5 years in a row, so I want it to calculate like a birth date. Now, if you're wondering what the Messenger is, the Messenger is a small program we have that's sort of like a mini Outlook calendar. It reminds you of upcoming dates, reminds you of any kind of appointment that you've scheduled inside of it. So it's kind of a scheduling program that has a few extra benefits added onto it. And later on, we'll do some more videos that will show how you can actually utilize the Messenger a little more. So in this instance, we're going to choose Age Anniversary. I'll click Next. And I have this option here. It says, would you like to keep track of the amount of time between this date and the present date? And simply what this means is, do I want it to calculate the time? And you can see over here on the right hand side part of a date that is calculating. It's saying, okay, 24 years for this on a birth date. If I have this option checked, it will do this. It will check, okay, this date it's 2 years old now, so it'll calculate the age on it. So I do want that to happen. I'll click Next. This option allows you to check mark no date, or mark a date when no date is known. Simply what this does is if there is no date listed for this item, it will put no in the box for it, simply meaning that there is no date known for this. This will give you the ability to search off dates that everyone that does not have one of these dates listed for them. So it can be pretty handy. So I'll go ahead and check this, and we'll click Next again and click Finish, and I have this new date category called Started Date. Now let's click Close, and I'll go over to Dates, and there is Started Date, and notice it's showing no right now. And if I want to modify that, I can go down here and click on the arrow icon and modify the date here. I also have an option of checking if the individual has a record, but we do not know when the date is. If I check that, it marks it as yes. It just means that I don't know when the actual date was. But in this case, I don't want to do that. We'll click OK, and that would actually put in a date for that. Now, if I want to search off this, I can go up to Ministry Profiles again and click on the Dates category, and I have the started date, and I can check that off. And now I have some options just like birth date here, except I have a few more down here at the bottom that allows me to say show me everyone that has a started date or does not have a started date. So anyone that does not have a started date would be those ones that are marked as no. And then I can use the other options here to search through those dates, show me everyone that their started date begins in this month, or the age of it is between or equal to this amount, or it actually started between or on this date. So it gives me some options to choose from, and then I can use that profile or save the profile and use it later on.